Russian oligarchs are one of the richest people in the world. They form a small group that has strong social and political influence in the country. They have their wealth all over the world, from yachts and private jets to huge estates worth millions. Here are some examples of Russian oligarchs and their wealth outside Russia. Roman Abramovich, $8.8 billion. His main sources of wealth are steel and investments. He holds stakes in Russian steel giant Evraz and nickel producer Norilsk Nickel. He is also the principal owner of the private investment firm Millhouse Capital. He owns a couple of luxury yachts. One of them is the $600 million Solaris, which is 160 meters long and has about 60 crew members. The second of his yachts that he owned since 2010 is Eclipse, worth $700 million. It is 162 meters long and has 70 crew members. He also owns mansions in the UK and France. One of them is the Kensington Mansion in London, worth £150 million. It is probably the most expensive mansion of Roman Abramovich. Another mansion that has hosted the Duke of Windsor and Winston Churchill in the past is the £87 million Chateau de la Croix in southern France. He also owned Chelsea Football Club in the UK for over 20 years. Alisher Usmanov, $13.7 billion. His main sources of wealth are steel, telecommunications, and investments. He is the majority shareholder of Russian industrial conglomerate Metaloinvest, the owner of Kommersant Publishing House, co-owner of Russian cell phone operator Megafon, and the owner of Udokan Copper, which exploits one of the largest copper deposits in the world. Alisher Usmanov owns one of the largest private jets, Airbus A340, named Burkhan after his father. The jet is worth $200 million and can accommodate over 40 passengers. He also owns one of the largest yachts in the world, named Dilbar. Measuring 156 meters and worth over $800 million, this yacht accommodates 84 crew members and 36 guests in as many as 58 cabins. His main mansion is Beechwood House in London. Alisher bought the beautiful mansion in 2008 for £48 million. He also owns a Tudor mansion, 3 miles northeast of Guildford in Surrey. This house was built in 1525 and was once owned by John Paul Getty. Alexei Mordashov, $17.1 billion. His main sources of wealth are steel and investments. He is the majority shareholder and chairman of Sevastol, Russia's largest steel and mining company. Alexei owns 2 huge yachts. The first one is Nord. This luxury yacht is 142 meters long and worth $500 million, can accommodate more than 24 guests and 40 crew members. The yacht has a helicopter hangar, 2 helicopter platforms, 2 elevators, a large swimming pool, a gym with a sauna, and a cinema. His second yacht is a 65 meters long motor yacht, the $55 million Lady M. Can accommodate 12 guests and 14 crew members in 13 cabins. He also has a private jet Bombardier Global 6000, which is worth $50 million. He is one of the few Russian oligarchs who does not have an estate in France or Florida in the United States. Vladimir Lisin, $24.1 billion. His main sources of wealth are steel and transport. He is the chairman and majority shareholder of Novolipetsk, one of the 4 largest steel companies in Russia, which produces about 25% of Russian steel. Vladimir Lisin owns a $50 million Bombardier Global 5000 private jet. An Aberruchil Castle in Perthshire, Scotland, which was built in the 17th century. Leonid Mikhelson, $21.5 billion. His main sources of wealth are gas and chemicals. He is a major shareholder, chairman, and CEO of Novatek, a Russian gas company. He owns a $70 million Gulfstream G650 private jet that can accommodate 14 passengers. He also has an 85-meter-long Pacific yacht worth $150 million. This yacht can accommodate 12 guests and 28 crew members in 20 cabins, and also has space for 2 helicopters. Andrey Melnichenko, $23.8 billion. His main sources of wealth are coal and fertilizers. He is the founder and former beneficiary of Russia's largest fertilizer producer Eurochemistry Group and Russia's largest coal producer Siberian Coal Energy Company. He has the largest sailing yacht in the world. This 143-meter-long yacht is worth $600 million. Can accommodate 20 guests and 20 crew members in 20 cabins. He also owns a Boeing business jet worth $80 million. Outside Russia, he has many estates, and one of them is the Harewood Estate in the United Kingdom. The house is located south of Windsor Great Park, covers 14.8 acres, and is worth $40 million. Mikhail Prokhorov, $11.3 billion. His main source of wealth is investments. He was the owner of the Brooklyn Nets basketball team. He is also the former chairman of Onexim Group and former chairman of Polyus Gold, Russia's largest gold producer. He owns the Palladium yacht, which is worth $200 million and is 95 meters long. This luxury yacht is capable of accommodating 24 guests and 33 crew members in 28 cabins. His private jet is an Airbus A319 worth $70 million, built in 2009, and has a capacity of 14 passengers. In France near Nice, he owns a large house that was renovated in 2020. Vagit Alekperov, $20.9 billion. His main source of wealth is oil. Since 1993 he has been the chairman of the largest independent oil company in Russia, Lukoil. He owns 25% of the company's shares. The company is responsible for 2% of the world's oil production and owns over 2,000 gas stations in the United States. Vagit Alekperov owns a 70 meters long yacht named Galactica Supernova, worth $80 million. The yacht can accommodate 12 guests and 16 crew members in 14 cabins. He also has a private jet built in 2014, a $60 million Dassault Falcon 7X. Oleg Deripaska, $3.5 billion. His main sources of wealth are aluminum and media. He is the founder of Volnu Delo, Russia's largest charitable foundation, and the founder of one of Russia's largest industrial groups, Basic Element. He was also the founder of the second largest aluminum company in the world, United Company Rusal. Oleg owns a 73-meter Clio yacht worth $65 million. This luxury yacht can accommodate 18 guests and 21 crew members in 19 cabins. He also owns 3 private jets built in 2012 Gulfstream G550. He has a home in Belgravia Square in London, half mansion in Washington, D.C., and also a home in New York City. Dmitry Rybolovlev, $6.6 billion. His main source of wealth is fertilizer. He became chairman of Russian fertilizer producer Uralkali in 1995. In 2010, he sold his stake to 3 Kremlin-linked oligarchs for $6.5 billion. In 2011, he became president and the majority owner of AS Monaco Football Club. Dmitry owns the $250 million yacht Anna. It is 110 meters long and can accommodate 16 guests and 32 crew members in 24 cabins. He also owns a 42 meters long sailing yacht, Nauta Swan Scorpios, built in 2021. And a $90 million Airbus A319. He has spent about $1 billion on real estate in Europe. He lives in a penthouse worth $400 million, located in the famous La Belle Époque building in Monaco.